right, folks, potentially the last day pulling into Swampfest that you guys will see before the event. We're doing a preview today, letting you guys see the course fully done. So this is kind of something for you guys to realize right now when you guys enter in. For people who have not been to Swampfest before, you're gonna come down this road, you're gonna see this giant blue building, okay? When you look to your left, you'll see this moto track that you guys have seen in the past videos that's over here. So when you're coming in, they'll have the guys at the gate right here, the border, be collecting all the payments from everybody getting in. So that's why you guys will pay to get into Swampfest, whether you're coming for the day or camping for the weekend. Gates open Friday at noon. You guys will already probably be here by this point if you guys are coming to the event. But you guys look over there, that's where the camping will be. Basically, everyone in tents usually camps over there. And then they have the reserved RV spots. You guys do have to pay for the RV spots online ahead of time. And I do believe that a lot of them are completely booked. So this is like the RV camping over here. This is where they'll have like the food trucks. Then the actual spider place serves food over there. And there's gonna be like beer and stuff like that. When you pull in here, there's the shitters. That's where you guys will be using them in the morning and the night and all that good stuff. And then when you come over here, this is where all the sponsors will be. You're gonna have like a van meetup over here. This right there is where the Be Weird booth will be. Literally like right here, which is gonna be sick. So I'm gonna get that all dialed in today. You got the Fast and Loose guys over there. They got a booth over there. I'll show you guys in a second. The Long and Drunk's gonna take place like somewhere right around here in that area right there. They got a pool and everything set up. Wow, Long and Drunk this year looks like it's gonna get quite sick. Jason, you drunk yet or what? No? Of course, he's got a knife. Hey, nice tan, dude. That thing looks sick.
What?
I said nice tan, dude.
Listening.
Woo. Wow, this is gonna be incredible. Behind scenes, Fast and Loose filming right now. Coming out the filming bus straight to the pool. Dax is not stoked on the mask whatsoever. Fast and Loose party booth. And then over here, as you guys can see, you got Trey's booth where he's gonna sell all the Swampfest merchandise, beers, all that good stuff. Got the Gator Pond over here. Savannah and the Gatorland folks are coming over on, I think, Friday afternoon. They're gonna be setting this up. But you will not be allowed to do what I'm doing right now, but this is gonna be a full-on Gator Pond. We dammed this up so it can't get out. They got a little hideout over there. We gotta add this. We didn't know gators can climb, so we gotta do like a 45 here. Apparently gators can climb the damn fence. I mean, I've seen them before. They look like fat dogs, but Dax is loving it. Hell yeah, dude. And since we are at Spider Motocross Park, this is the Spider obstacle / quarter pipe right there. So basically you go underneath this massive spider that Dave created onto that quarter pipe to get speed for the Odyssey obstacle, which is like a long and low into this crazy tunnel. And you shoot up onto that deck over there. Yeah, so you come down this crazy long and low. You go down through the tunnel, underneath the bridge to hell, up onto the deck, and then you got 2 ledges at the end. So if you make it through all that stuff, these are the 2 ledges we're talking about. You can either hit this ledge, that ledge, or off the thing into the dirt bank right there. Gregson, skate this shit. It's perfect. You guys got like a perfect landing right here. Over here, you got kind of like the more just like generic riding stuff. You got 2 hips right here, 1, 2, then you got a pocket that way, you got a pocket that way, you got kind of like a channel pocket there, and then you got crazy pockets. I'm sure someone will do some wild stuff. This pocket's kind of cool. Jesse, Cody, and a couple of the other dudes like Julian and them all got together and built this crazy thing. Basically, you pocket out of that into, I guess it's like a rocker hand. I'm not really too sure what they're going for on that one, but it's badass. Come over here. This is a shadow conspiracy obstacle. It's basically the toilet bowl, because if you go in there, you're going to be covered in all that mucky water. But you can go around it, pop out there. And you guys saw us ride this in earlier videos. It's a ton of fun, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that get wet, which will be really entertaining to watch. On the side of it, Dave built 2 ledges, and then our buddy Connell built this crazy like transition out of all pieces of scrap wood. I know it looks like it wouldn't ride very well, but it's actually super smooth and feels really cool. Then we have the much requested open loop. This was Dave's idea this year. It's basically like a little kicker into a boot open loop. It's made to look like a massive cowboy boot, which is probably one of the most insane things I've ever seen. It is to the left, but I've hit them both ways before, and I don't really think it feels any different. But this one is probably the tallest one we've ever had, because usually they're built from the ground and they go like that. This one's already elevated up, so this is definitely the biggest one we had. But all you people asking about the open loop, we got it back. Then right here is the runway for the Sabrosa Swamp Rail. Basically taking that rail, put it in here. You're gonna start right here, do a long double peg grind, and then you're gonna come off with that lip at the end. Once you get to the end, you guys are gonna hit that crazy metal lip that I'm not saying who welded it, but it was a very unprofessional weld job, but it actually turned out somewhat good. The boys tested it, it works, but you literally have to grind like 60 feet before you even get to that. Then you're gonna gap off that into that little landing that Trey made the other day. Take a break real quick from the street course side of things and we'll go over the dirt jumps. There are the same lines as last year. We made a few minor changes just to make them ride better. Last year, no one got to ride the dirt jumps because it rained, literally downpoured the day before, so everything was soaking wet and it was just like unrecoverable. Some people got to ride in the later part of Saturday and the jumps were not running as fast as they should, so people were having trouble getting through them. But this year, the lines are running sick. They feel good. We took all precautions by concreting the flat bottoms so that if water did somehow pull up from a freak rainstorm, that we'd be able to push the water off the bottoms, take the tarps off, and everything will be chilling. Over here, you got the roll-in that seemed to last for an insane amount of time and it's still kicking ass, which is sick. You can go up both sides. The lines on Saturday get insane on this thing. Damn, Dex, that was actually pretty sick. My man just literally ran up this thing. I know it's hard to see, but this splits off into two lines. I'll show you guys right now. Come on, Dex, I'll show them. It's kind of hard to tell. This might be a little bit confusing, but if you go right, that's the little line. There's slightly smaller jumps, still a ton of fun, a little bit more technical, but the jumps like gaps are not as big. If you go to the left, this is the big line. These jumps are much bigger and they're not as like technical, but again, they are just that much bigger. Let me take you guys down there real quick so you can get an idea what the lines actually look like more. Not like walking down this. Dax was no problem. Jeez, dude. You're a freaking athlete, dude. Fortunately, yesterday when I was at Weirdo World, I did a flare and I don't know how this happened. It was like a freak accident. I like looped out to a manual and I put my right leg out to save myself. And I don't know, I think I actually did something pretty heavy to my knee. It feels like it's just being like yanked apart, like way worse than it ever has felt. So after Swampfest, I'm gonna go get it checked out, but kind of sucks literally having 2 days before Swampfest. So hopefully I can pedal around, but tried to pedal today and it just like felt absolutely terrible. All right, so we'll start with the small line first. So basically you go over this slight left hip. It's not really a hip, it's more of like a banked landing. Then you come through this like little like rhythm section. It's kind of like one little roller that you pump and then you take it over this like pretty chill long and low. It's not that hard to clear this thing, but it sets you up with a lot of speed for the next jump. After you do that long and low, you come into this like slight right hip. Again, these jumps aren't insanely big, so you kind of can just float over that one. The next one you got to give a nice little pump for. So when you land that right hip, you'll see that there's like this little roller here. You want to pump the hell out of that thing to set you over the biggest jump in the line. Again, it's still not an insanely big jump, but you want to make sure you come in with some serious speed to get over this one. You want to make sure you come in with enough speed to get over this one because it's definitely bigger than all the other ones in the line. And then after you're done that, you cruise down this, you go over like that wall ride / bank thing, pump that roller, and then you can jump over the last little trick jump that we built. This thing is just kind of fun. People case the living hell out of it nonstop, but that's okay because it's just meant to be like a fun little trick jump. All right, let's go back up to the top and look at the big line. Come off the storage container, you're gonna come down that little landing right there. You're gonna hit this pretty hefty right hip. This thing is no joke. It feels really good, but it is definitely a big dirt jump with a huge landing. When you come down this landing right here, this is what I was talking about earlier with the concrete flat bottom, so that if it does rain, we can just sweep it off and it stays really hard in the flats, because that's the hardest part to keep good on dirt jumps, because you can put the tarps over that and they stay bone dry, but the flat bottoms are what kind of go to hell. After you hit that right hip, you're gonna come into this pretty decently big left hip again. As I said, this is the big line and this stuff does get pretty big. When you land on this, it's kind of like banked out that way, and it's an insanely long landing straight into this huge long and low. Coming to the long and low, I remember when I first hit this thing, I was so scared, but it's actually super chill and it was pretty easy to clear, but it's just coming off that massive hip, and then it's a pretty insane gap. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell what I'm saying here, but that's pretty decent size. Come down the long and low gap, you pump this roller right here, and then this is a step up that you can absolutely boost. I mean, I don't really boost it, but I watched Jason ride it and I realized that's how you're supposed to ride it. Clear the step up, come down that landing, pump this roller straight into this right hip. As you can see, it's kind of wet down there, but it's concreted, so we can just push that water off and it'll be hard as a rock underneath there. Tested out yesterday, it worked great. Land that right hip, come across this berm, and then you hit this like little fun jump into the last trick jump right there. That's just like another one of those end of the line fun jumps. You can kind of do whatever tricks you want on. All right, now let's go back into the street course. Right here we got the dog shit bikes quarter. It's basically a vert wall. This thing is insanely fun to ride, and it sets you right up into the Powers Bike Shop obstacle, which is like a crazy hit, but also a box jump into a kink landing, which is something I've never seen in my entire life before. I think there's probably a reason for that because it feels insane. But come down, there's 2 kink ledges that actually feel really good. Dave made 2 perfect kink ledges. Over to the right of it, you got the GT obstacle. You got Bajarki, aka Mr. Iceland's quarter. We had a rake on there, but we were afraid someone was legitimately gonna get stabbed with that, so we kind of just left it up there, but flipped it so it's not that dangerous. We got his actual forks that we wedged on top of there and a paint roller. You get some bonus points on that one. Got the dance comp obstacle, which is kind of like an A-frame in the shape of 2 lightning bolts that me and Trey could never figure out how to make, and then Dave somehow did it in literally 5 minutes. Here we got the Colt obstacle, which is the double roller coaster rail grind. You come pedaling down that, up this thing across the deck, and then you lock into a roller coaster grind down that and then trick out. I mean, Trey already did a backflip out of it, so I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna do a lot of tricks out of this thing, and I encourage anyone to hit this thing. It's really that easy. Once you get up onto it, you don't have to do anything else. It's badass. You got the massive quarter, the Church of the Loose right there. That thing is definitely pretty rickety, and when you get to the top, you'll feel the wobble, that is for sure. And last, but definitely not least, you got the Fast and Loose Bowl. With having a Blood Wizard jam on Friday night. Definitely the sickest sign of Swampfest. Look at this thing, dude. This is perfection. Jason, Corey, and Josh absolutely killed it. Cannot wait to see people shred this thing. And this little rail obstacle that a really unprofessional welder welded. I'm not going to name his name, but I think you guys know who it is, so hopefully it holds up. Almost forgot an obstacle. I got to put this in. The freaking tire ride that Trey's mom and dad built for the BSD. This is absurd. That's like 8.5, 9 feet off the ground right there. I just wanted to take this time to thank every single one of you guys who watched all these videos for the past 20 some odd days and watching the whole Swampfest build process. It's been some of the best times out here with all my friends. I love doing stuff like this. I've really enjoyed this video series. I'm super glad that you guys did as well. Can't wait to see everybody out there this Friday and Saturday. I'm super excited for the event. I can't wait to film it. I'm going to do the same style of videos I did last time. Remember, if you guys are at the event and you want to stop by the Be Weird booth, grab a shirt, grab a hat, hang out, chat, do whatever you guys want. Be hanging around Swampfest all weekend round. Come up to me, come talk to me, come say what's up. You guys are the reason I do this stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna remember the outro today. I promise you that. Not gonna forget the outro this time. I'm out.